Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're all doing good. I hope you're all doing well on this Saturday morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you're having a great Saturday so far, wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. And it is, guys, 24 hours almost to the Manchester City derby, guys. This is what we've been waiting for. Real football is back, of course, and we are just counting down the hours, the minutes, the seconds until Manchester United step foot in the Etihad again. And hopefully it will be an empty Etihad very, very quickly as Manchester United storm into a win, guys. That is what we want. That's what we need, guys. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video, all that nice stuff, guys. Thank you so much again for joining me today, of course, on this weekend. This beautiful weekend, of course, guys. Absolutely lovely. Now, guys, let's get into it. Now, we know that Man United have been talking a lot about future signings, the unknown, scouting. And we've been very critical with the way Man United have done things over the years in regards to getting players in that we don't really know of. In all fairness, over the last year, we have brought in Aiden Heaven, Kone, amongst other players that many of us won't have heard of otherwise, you know. And I would say that, you know, this is a good thing. This is a good thing as long as those players are good enough. I would like to trust Wilcox, Lavelle, Barada, these guys. I would like to trust their talent spotting. Obviously, we got Kone, hasn't quite worked yet. Obviously, he hasn't had his debut yet. He was not called into the full-time Manchester United squad this week, of course. The Manchester United squad to 25-26 is not in the squad. So that's a little bit surprising, of course. But he's just one of players that Man United have been scouting, have signed over this last year. And there are more to come in regards to that. Now, Manchester United are no stranger to the continent of Africa. Man United have scouted in Africa, in particular with the likes of Kone. And one of the players that Manchester United have been scouting heavily is a guy named Musa Ann. Musa Ann is a teenage sensation. They call him the teenage sensation. He comes from Samga FC in Gambia, of course, home to the likes of Emmanuel Chokwu and Precious Benjamin of Hoffenheim and things like that. They have an array of players that have come off their books. Now, he is an under-17s centre-back in Gambian under-17 centre-back. Now, look, these are the kind of signings that I look at and, would like us to sign because, you know, you look at it and you think you never know that they might be the next big thing. We're looking at Aiden Heaven now, and we're looking at Aiden Heaven as like a generational kind of player, a player for the future. But you know what? Probably in line to become a world-class defender. Let's be honest, guys. He's probably in line to become a world-class defender. And why can't we find another Aiden Heaven? You know, why can't we do that? And this is something that I think we should push more for. You know, we should do. I'm not saying that we should totally neglect expensive signings and things like that. I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. Far from it. But what I would say is that we need to mix it up a little bit in regards to the youth players coming in and stuff like that, and players that actually are going to make it, because there are a number of players that are going to come in that, you know what, will flatter to deceive. You know, they won't make it. I'm very excited about Manchester United's future. I'm excited about Shea Lacey. I'm excited about JJ Gabriel. You know, I'm excited that there's a Musa already plays for Manchester United as well, guys. You know, Musa Ann. So, look, you know, Musa, obviously, the one who currently plays for Man United is a striker. He's the one who plays for Man United currently. He's a striker. He's the one who scored 6 goals a few months ago, of course, in the under-21s. Musa Ann is a defender, a Gambian defender, currently playing in Gambia for Samga FC, guys. So that is the player that has been linked to Manchester United heavily over this last 24 hours. And Man United are scouting this player, of course, guys. Another player from the continent of Africa, Man United are currently scouting and have offered a trial to is Etienne Mendy. He is currently on trial at Manchester United. Etienne Mendy is an attacker, a Senegalese under-17s international attacker. Of course, guys. Now, look, what have you got to lose? What have you got to lose in regards to these signings? You can't lose anything. You know, at the end of the day, they're not going to cost anything. So you bring them to the club. You know, if they don't make it, then, oh, well, you know, if they do make it, then great. You know, it's great to bring these players in. It's great to get and send them on loan. Send them on loan. It's great to get these players in and send them on loan, and get them some experience in European football. Obviously, we have players that are going on loan at the moment to Lausanne and places like that. Obviously, that's a good thing. Maybe a slightly higher level, but we would like a slightly higher level rather than that Swiss club. But, it is a good thing to get these players in, maybe send them around to European football, different clubs, and you never know what you're going to get with it. You never know what's going to come out of it at the end of the day, guys, do you? Guys, absolutely not. Now, another player, guys, Man United interested in is Cardiff City defender Dylan Lawler. Now, Dylan Lawler is a 19-year-old centre-back. He's already got a cap for Wales, guys. And this kind of player, look, I don't want us to think about Daniel James and things like that, this kind of signing. This player has made airwaves this last year, making his cap for Wales, of course, which is no mean feat. I know people say, but it's Wales and stuff, but it's no mean feat. Dylan Lawler is a 19-year-old centre-back valued at around 100,000. Now, this is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about players that have got potential, right? They got potential. They got a cap for their country, and you know what? It's nothing to lose really because they're cheap, so to speak. They're cheap, and I think these kind of signings represent something better for Man United going forward, and it's better than getting these players in. You see how they are, you test the waters, send them on loan maybe, they come back and they become great players. And as we said before, I said it again, with Aiden Heaven, it is a big one. Obviously, Chido Obi-Martin is yet to be seen, of course. We've seen the quality of Chido Obi-Martin in the friendlies against Hong Kong and stuff, which is, he showed a little bit of class there with that goal and stuff. But yeah, look, very, very, very interesting that what Man United are doing. They are looking around, they are scouting. But that's not to say that we shouldn't be going out there and getting more household names, getting players that have already more established. We should be doing that as well, because you can't win anything with kids. I don't want to say that, but in regards to the Premier League nowadays, you can't just get a bunch of 17-year-olds who are not proven and expect it to work. Although you can sort of nurture them into the team, and then they obviously will get better and better in that team, of course, guys. But very interesting news coming out of Man United. Lots of scouting going on, lots of players on trial. And maybe we'll find a gem. Maybe we'll find a diamond in the rough. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that will happen, guys. Let's wait and see. Good morning, everyone. By the way, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope everyone is blessed. Welcome, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. If we scout better, we can get better. Play. Yeah, of course, we have to scout. It's something that Man United have done religiously over the years. And one of my biggest concerns, right, is because I don't want Man United to be stationed in one area of the world. I want Man United to go around the world, right? Looking for players in South America. I don't think we're looking in South America enough. I know it's difficult to sign players from South America, but we're not looking there enough. We're not looking in Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia. We're not looking in these countries, right? Because there is a big array of talent in the continent of America as a whole, South America and North America. And then when you look at the likes of Norway and Sweden and Denmark and Finland and Iceland and these countries as well, there's Man United notoriously back in the 90s, obviously we brought in Ronnie Johnson, we brought in Henning Berg, we brought in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, amongst others. And we don't do that enough recently, I should say, in recent years. We don't really scout Scandinavia much as well. And I'm a little bit disappointed by that because we have a great history with Scandinavian players. And, you look at different countries around Europe and you think about, where's a good place to sign a defender? What has a good history of developing defenders? And you think about like the likes of Nemanja Vidic, right? Nemanja Vidic, okay? So you got Nemanja Vidic, Serbian, right? You say, right, you know what? In that country, maybe they produce good defenders. And we have looked at defenders there in the past, and we bought, obviously, Nemanja Vidic from there. Holland, Sweden, Norway produce great defensive players. Not only defensive, they do produce strikers as well. They're going to Solskjaer, Haaland, and players like that. But I'm talking about they produce like quality and tough defenders over Premier League history. What they've done over the course of the Premier League, they have produced great players. Good morning, William. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Nearly time to beat the Cheats. Come on, mate. Let's hope so, mate. They're getting a little bit cocky. I really want us to beat them tomorrow. It'd be just to shut them up for a few more months. Absolutely. And, solidify Pep Guardiola's pressure. I guarantee you they're not going to turn the turn the tools on Pep Guardiola. I guarantee you that the media are not going to attack Pep Guardiola. Absolutely not. You watch, they're not going to attack Pep Guardiola. You watch what happens, mate. Watch what happens. Nothing's going to happen. He will lose to Man United. They'll make up some excuse and they'll move on. That's what they do. This is what they do, Andy. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Of course, Celestine. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, my friend. Big up, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Damien, good to see you, mate. Good afternoon, Sal. From Ireland. Have you visited, Damien? I would like to say that I have. I've visited a lot of places in the world. I haven't visited Ireland yet, unfortunately. Love Ireland, love Irish people, love Ireland. I love the way what they stand for. Very, very salt of the earth people. Hopefully one day I will be in Ireland. I would be in Ireland, and yeah, that would be great. I would love to go there. I actually love Ireland. Yeah, honestly, great people, and salt of the earth people. Absolutely, we can learn a thing or two from the Irish. Absolutely, and I'm English. You know what I mean? So we can learn a few things of Ireland. I absolutely love it. And one day, definitely, Damien. Big up, Damien, by the way. Thank you for joining the stream. Hell, Genio, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to be back again. Finally, football is back. Proper football is back. Hell, this is what it's all about. This is what we're waiting for. You know what I mean? This is what we're waiting for, proper football. We've been subjected to international football for the last, it seems like 2 years, not 2 weeks. It's been awful. It's been awful, honestly. And I'm glad to have football back, real football back, you know what I mean? To add a little bit of positivity to proceedings in this very hateful world, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Daryl, good morning. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. You were watching any of the games today. I'll play that by ear. Keep your notifications on, guys. If I decide to do one, guys, I will. It depends who views me. You know, if I get viewers, then that's great. If people don't want to, I mean, because obviously I'm primarily Man United, and I get a lot of Man United fans, of course. But, you know, when I do other teams, it's not quite as potent. It's not quite as effective, you know what I mean? So hopefully, if I'm doing nothing today, I will try it. But I'm definitely doing a watch-along tomorrow. Of course I am. With Man United, of course, guys. Helge. G-Son Punk, who was G-Son Punk. What a name for a band. G-Son Punk. We should do that. G-Son Punk. G-Son Park, guys, who was bought from PSV. I think it was also Genius Scouting. Had just 2 seasons there. I missed that. And what we have to say, Helge, is that where did G-Son Park come from before he went to PSV? Okay, I know he comes from South Korea, but who did he play for? Who did he play for? You know, and this is where we have to get into the realms of cutting out that middleman. Do you know what I mean? Stop getting the player when he's already in Europe. You know, where did they get it from? How did they scout him? How did they find him? A very underrated player as well, of course. Good morning, Tyborg. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Tyborg back in the house, my friend. Are you looking forward to real football is back, guys? Look, I don't want any disappointments tomorrow, but I know that football can hit you with a wet salmon. I know that, you know, and I know that football doesn't always go your way. But one thing I have to try and do is try and remain positive and enthusiastic about the team. I felt positive all week. I have felt a positive all week. I haven't felt this confident, as I said. I haven't felt this confidence about Man United against Man City since the 90s. Honestly, I haven't felt this way since the 90s. And, I really hope for a very good game tomorrow. You know, I hope Man United do the business. I really hope so. As long as we don't lose, of course, we've got Chelsea coming up as well. We also got Liverpool in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a tough one. You know, it's going to be a very difficult month to negotiate. Obviously, we've got Brighton and Brentford as well. Notoriously, we don't have good records against them either. In fact, we have probably worse records against them. So it's going to be a very, very difficult month to negotiate. And this is going to be where Ruben Amorim is severely going to be tested. And not only Ruben Amorim being tested, also the fan base being tested. You know what I mean? Some of the fans who already slightly Ruben Amorim doubt and stuff like that as well, guys. Absolutely. Helge, I have a chair that warm food ready for you in Norway when you decide to visit. Big up, brother. Thank you so much, man. I will visit very soon, mate. I am on my way to Scandinavia very, very soon. One of the places I haven't visited yet. You know what I mean? I can't believe I visited Africa. I haven't visited Scandinavia. It's ridiculous, isn't it? You know, I've done Asia. I've done Far East. I've done America all over. I haven't done Scandinavia. I haven't done Ireland yet. It's mad, isn't it, at the end of the day? I'm currently living in UAE as well. Big up Helge, my friend. Absolutely. Philip, good morning, Sal. Off topic. No, now Nana is gone. Will Bayanda see this as a chance to improve and fight, or will he start worrying that he is the next out the door? I mean, for good comment, Philip. One thing I would say about Bayanda is that, you know what, he's a little bit confusing to me because I see parts of his game and I know, well, it's quite good. But there's it's the corners, mate. It's the crosses. And I think that's a big issue because in the Premier League, they're going to cross the ball and they're going to put the ball right on the goal line when they cross those corners in. And you have to be strong in the Premier League. One of the most things, you have to stand your own. You have to stand your ground in the Premier League. And I just don't think that Bayindir can do that. Although, one thing I would say that I think it's very important that we give Bayindir, like if he's going to be the next goalkeeper, he needs a run of games. But I like Seny Lamens. I think Seny Lamens is the guy. I think he's the guy who's going to be between the sticks for many years to come. And I think he should be starting for Man United eventually. Maybe they don't want to play him on Sunday. Tomorrow, that's fine. Okay, fine. I disagree. But, because every game is hard in the Premier League. But I think that they should start bedding Seny Lamens into the team. It can work both ways, right? Like Bayindir has a blinding game tomorrow. He does very well. And we're excited. We're happy. We win the game. And then Bayindir stays between the sticks. Or he makes a big mistake and a big error. We say, like, you know what? Seny Lamens should have played. He would have caught that. He would have saved that. It's a very difficult one, isn't it? And imagine you're Ruben Amorim at the moment. You're Ruben Amorim. You're sitting there and you're thinking, Ruben Amorim, what should I do? I mean, the goalkeeper position. And imagine it was you, It's massive decisions, isn't it, at the end of the day? But I do believe that Seny Lamens should make his debut at Old Trafford. And I think that he should probably play against Chelsea, in my opinion. Big up, Philip. Good to see you, mate, of course. Helge, my buddies asked me yesterday, you coming over for the United game? And I said, no worry, I want to watch it at home with Sal instead. I'll come to the next one. Big up, Helge. Get them along. Tell them to follow. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to support Stretford Post, my guy. Absolutely. Daryl. 100%. We need to take the players from the source before they become £100 million players. Absolutely. We've got to cut out that middleman, isn't it, Daryl? And this is something that we haven't done over the years. We did do it in the past. Yeah, we did. Even when we signed Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Jaap Stam, they were known in Holland and they were kind of, established in Holland, but they represented a risk, no doubt, because when we signed Jaap Stam and we signed Ruud van Nistelrooy, everyone was saying, well, they only played in Holland, they ain't really done it in England, in the Premier League, in a tough league, and you know what I mean? And that was cutting out the middleman. And then obviously Jaap Stam became a world-class player. Ruud van Nistelrooy probably was one of the best strikers in Premier League history. And this is something that Man United need to do. Jason Park, another one, Javier Hernandez, Diego Forlan. These players, that Man United used to scout back in the day are not scouting as much as we used to. And I think that's disappointing. And hopefully that can change. Helge. Jason Park and Wet Salmon, you're off to a good start. Big up, Helge. Big up, my friend. Jason Punk, absolutely. That's right. Have you heard of it? Are you going to the Jason Punk concert, Helge? Just seeing us lose this may be wrong, but feels good. I feel the same, William. I felt the same all week. I felt this. I mean, I don't know whether it's delusion. I don't know whether I'm being overly zealous. I just feel like I just got this overwhelming feeling that Man United are ready for this game. Even Ruben Amorim's talking about, I'm confident we're the better team and stuff. He's getting very giddy. He's getting very bold in his statements and stuff. And I just feel the same. I think Manchester City are there to be taken, but they're not there to be underestimated either. They're still Manchester City. I know they got Mamouche. They got Cherki out of the team. But they still got great players. They've got obviously Silva and obviously these players around and Foden who are good players on their day. They're good players and we're going to have to be very careful. And not least, they're players that have given us problems in the past. And obviously they've got Haaland and Rodri. It's no mean feat, isn't it? At the end of the day, they've got a good team. But I'm confident Man United can go there and assert themselves and win the game, in my opinion. King Jam, good morning. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. It's going to be a great game tomorrow. 2-1 United. Come on, mate. That's my prediction as well. Of course. Good morning, Sal. We will do them. City have been very shaky defensively of late. The pace of Mbeumo, Sesko and Ahmad will expose their vulnerabilities at the back in the break. I think so. I mean, I've got a big feeling about Mbeumo. I've got this feeling that Mbeumo is going to assert himself tomorrow. He's going to be good tomorrow. I don't know. I just got this feeling about Mbeumo. This feeling that he's going to do well tomorrow. I've got this image in my head of him bending the ball into the corner. I just got this thing in my head. It's just like, yeah. Mbeumo's going to shine tomorrow, guys. And remember these words. Mbeumo's going to shine tomorrow, guys. Don't be surprised if he gets a brace tomorrow. Absolutely. Good morning, Gray, you legend. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Absolutely. The Cardiff link is Dylan Lawler, one cap for Wales, Grayo. Very young player, 19 years of age. Worth about 100,000 from Cardiff City. Is a player that Man United have been scouting. Already a cat for wow. So that's something, isn't it? You know, that means he's got something about him that he's a good player and he's a future prospect, of course. Thank you so much, William. Absolutely, guys. Don't forget, it's a minimum of 50 likes per Saturday, guys. Per Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on every Breaking Dawn, every morning. It's 50 likes minimum, guys. That's what we need to do. 50 likes minimum, of course. Absolutely. Rasta say, good morning, Rasta. Hope you're doing well. Lee Sharp. Absolutely, Lee Sharp. Another one. Dion Dublin, Cambridge United. Absolutely. I loved Stamman was gutted when Fergie got rid. Yeah, I was gutted as well. I mean, obviously, Fergie doesn't take any prisoners, does he? I think it was a bad mistake to get rid of Yup Stam. Very bad mistake. He admitted it already that was a mistake. He done it with a few players. He's not just done it with Yup Stam. It's the way Sir Alex Ferguson works. Sir Ferguson got rid of Paul Ince, Andre Konchesky, Mark Hughes, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister. All these players he's got rid of in the past, and it held. I mean, it didn't do him any harm at the end of the day, you know. And I would say that, yeah, look, you know, Stam was the biggest disappointment because I felt that Stam had a lot to give. And when Stam went to Lazio and then he went to AC Milan, he won the Champions League at AC Milan. Do you know what I mean? And he done very well, you know. And it was a mistake. That was a mistake. Beckham, however, had a few more years left at Man United, I feel. But if we didn't sell Beckham, would we have signed Cristiano Ronaldo? Is my biggest question. You know, because we signed Cristiano Ronaldo straight off selling David Beckham, didn't we? To be honest. And yeah, look, you know, Beckham was a legend at Man United, always will be. But you know, Alex Ferguson did what Alex Ferguson does, didn't he? Absolutely. Helge. I hope Bruno starts in number 10 so our midfield can have an actual number 8 where the Mount and Cunha is out. Confident will be better team regardless. So I agree. I think as people saw my predicted lineup yesterday, I put Fernandes as number 8, Kobe Mainoo. No, Fernandes as number 10, Kobe Mainoo as a number 8. I put because I feel like that is more balanced. And I would love to see Mbeumo and Fernandes linking up in those two number 10 positions. Disappointed about Cunha, of course, because Cunha is, you know, has played so well since he's come into Man United. I've been very impressed with Cunha, very happy with the way Cunha started his time at Man United. His leadership, his personality has been brilliant, in my opinion. Dalot injured, however. The moment we need Dalot, he's not available, is he? You know, but we got Ahmad there who can play that position. We got Mazraoui there who can play that position as well. So I'm not too worried about that, to be honest with you. Mason Mount, I do believe that Ruben Amorim would have played Mason Mount in this game. I feel that Ruben Amorim would have picked Mason Mount for this game because of the control in regards to the midfield and the attackers and stuff, you know. William, the game could be turning point, confidence, etc. Yeah, this game could be the penny. The penny could drop in this game, guys. And I feel like this could be the game where we arrive this season. And if we beat Manchester City, it would be great just to shut up a lot of those media outlets who've been writing off Ruben Amorim. You know, it would be great. It would be fantastic. You know, to beat them again at the Etihad 2 times in a row. That would be brilliant. You know. And, you know, I would love him to win tomorrow. And all these media outlets will be quiet for a good week or so, you know, until we play Chelsea. You know, the last thing they want is a Man United win. And this is why Man United fans need to stick together, because you know what? We got enough people who want us to lose, you know, so we got to make sure that we ourselves as Man United fans need us to win and want us to win. Helge. There is no comeback at City that deal with Mbeumo and Sesko's pace and power. All of their defenders is kind of slow and ain't that strong. This is why I say that we need to start Sesko and Mbeumo. And, you know, this is the thing. We need our best players up there. Sesko will cause them all sorts of problems, you know, and he will also create more space for the likes of Mbeumo and Fernandes, you know, whoever plays up there. He would create more space for them. And I feel like we need to play that triangle there with Sesko, Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes there, because it will cause more problems for them. I actually think they don't know what's going to hit them. With this. I mean, the pace on our counter-attack, the likes of Mbeumo, you know, on our counter. If we can play Mainoo and Ugarte or Mainoo and Casemiro in that midfield, I think that will solidify the midfield a little bit, add a little bit more control. And then whenever we get a chance to counter-attack, you know, we can counter-attack. And also, when you play Mainoo and Ugarte or Casemiro, you can get Bruno Fernandes to drop in sometimes and make it a 3, you know, in the midfield. If things get a little bit difficult, he can drop in and he can help out a little bit, rather than, you know what, if we didn't have him, we just had Bruno in there, you know, you're not going to get Ahmad dropping into the centre midfield, are you, on Mbeumo dropping into the centre midfield. So I think that would be better as an all-round tactical move, in my opinion. Big up, Helge. Samuel, good morning. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Ruben should promote Bentito, Montato, Ochido Martin, Jack Fletcher, Jim Flates, and Jay Lacey's in the FA Cup games. Yeah, I think he will. Samuel. I mean, obviously, it depends who we play. Obviously, if we play Liverpool away, he's not going to do that. But, if we get an easy game, nothing is easy these days, as we know with Grimsby Town, what happened with us. But I would do that as well, mate. In particular, what you said, Bendito Montato is one of those players that, I'm very excited about. He is a player that can play on the right wing. He can play right wing back. Great player. And not least Jim Freites and Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey. Obviously, Musa as well up front. These kind of players. Ibrahimov is another one that I'm a big fan of as well, guys. Absolutely. Boomer, my FF captain. Big up, my friend. Big up. William. Mbeumo is one of the best signings in years, fits so well. I think he's going to be one of the best signings in Premier League this season. I think he's going to be one of the players of the season this season. I just got this feeling about it. Already 4 games, 2 goals. The guy is an absolute animal. He's an absolute beast. And you know what? I actually felt this is why during the summer, I was like, we have to sign Mbeumo. We have to. And people were telling me, no, we don't need another number 10. We don't need another. We got Cunha. Mbeumo is a different level. Mbeumo is a game changer. He's a game changer in there. And I don't think he should be underestimated. I think he's going to be one of the players, if not the player of the season this season, guys. You watch this space. Definitely. An absolute animal. Rarely injured as well. Absolutely brilliant. Good morning, Revert 7. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Stan would have been a great pairing. I wasn't fond of Silvestre. I wasn't fond of Silvestre either. When I'm looking at Man United when we won the treble at Revert 7 is that we signed Silvestre shortly afterwards. And I watched him when he was playing for Inter Milan. And I was like, a French under 21 back then and stuff. I wasn't too excited about him. Generally, he was supposed to be there to be a squad player, but yeah, he was very clumsy sometimes. He was very clumsy. He was very bozo-like sometimes, of course. But he did a shift. Injury prone, absolutely. He was error prone, yeah. I hope Bruno's a 10 tomorrow. Absolutely, mate. I hope so as well. It's a god. We need it because, as I said, you can move Bruno into the centre midfield when need be. If things are getting a little bit difficult in midfield, you just move Bruno Fernandes into that midfield and keep the one as the number 10. And that's what you do rather than playing Bruno at starting as a number 8. You can't have any other option if you're having Mbeumo and Ahmad. They can't move into the midfield. It's difficult for them. Absolutely. Helge, Mbeumo has never scored against City. That would change on Sunday. I agree with you. Mbeumo will shine. One player that's going to shine tomorrow is Mbeumo. I don't want to sound overly confident because I'm a very humble guy, really. But I think that Man United will do bits tomorrow, and I'm excited about it. Absolutely. Samuel, should we start Lisandro Martinez on the bench against Man City because we don't try? No. He's not fit at all. He's not match fit. He's not up to match speed. October, he's around in October, so that's a long time away. He's not 100%. No, he's still a little bit of not fit. He's not fit. Absolutely not. He won't be able to put in a shift. If you bring him on, it'll be suicide. Honestly, Helge, there is no way that City defends well confident in a tunnel if the front three is Bruno and Mbeumo Sesko. It's dangerous. It is absolutely. Mbeumo is injured. No, he is not. He's back. He's fine. What about the Coney guy solve our midfield problems? I mean, Ruben Amorim don't think he's ready, and that's all I could say about that. I have a different opinion. I think he's ready. I think we should try him, at least put him on a bench. But Ruben Amorim, the most important thing is that Ruben Amorim doesn't think he's ready, and that's just what it is. I mean, not yet. You know what I mean? But he will be ready soon. I think he's ready myself, but big up Princess, by the way. Helge, Mbeumo is not injured. He played 90 minutes with Cameroon and is ready for the game. I mean, lots of people talking about injuries. Absolutely. There's no injury for Mbeumo. He had a knock, but nothing serious. Guys, Chindoso, when are we seeing Lamens in goal? I would say the earliest we're going to see Lamens in goal is probably, I would say, Chelsea, if we're lucky. It depends what happens tomorrow, to be honest with you. If Bayindir plays tomorrow and Bayindir has this fantastic game and a world-beating game, he'll play the next game and he'll carry on. The other time I can think about it is the Brentford game or the Brighton game, one of them games. We've got saying Montana has the potential to saw him live at the Emirates in the FA Youth Cup February. He won, but Darman stole the show. Yeah, Mantato played in a preseason friendly against Hong Kong and China, of course, and I thought he was brilliant. I think he should be in the squad, but what's your view on Mazza's number 6? I don't think it's the same as a Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, and Shouts. I think he could be a genius stroke. He has to play there. So smart. He does, but we have to understand that this is the Premier League. These players who play in midfield at the moment have been playing in midfield their whole lives. Right? This is what we have to remember, right? The players that have been playing in midfield, like, for example, Man City players, Rodri and players like that have been playing in midfield their whole lives. They know every single thing about midfield play. Just like Mazraoui knows about defending. They know about midfield play. It could be a masterstroke, but playing him against Man City is a big risk. It's a big risk because he's never played there. You could look at it and think he has attributes, but there's a certain gift you need to play in midfield. It's blinkers. You need everything around you on point. You need a certain flair, finesse, in regards to that midfield. I'm not saying it'll foul, but it represent a big, big risk. You play Mazraoui in midfield when you're under dire, when you've got no one else there to play, and I don't think it should be done. Absolutely not yet. Only if we need a midfielder to cover. That's the only way you do it, because people underestimate how, when you're growing up as a footballer, in a certain position, more than that player in that position. And that's one thing we have to say. No disrespect, but it was a disgrace after winning the treble. We strengthened the team with the likes of Sergio Fortune. And this this is what Roy Keane said, isn't it? Revert 7. Roy Keane said he was very disappointed that Man United didn't kick on. The fact that we lost, obviously, Peter Schmeichel in that game, obviously, after the season, Man United should really have compensated with signings. We didn't spend money. And I agree with Roy Keane here, because we concentrated on one position, goalkeeper, brought in Silvestri, Fortune, and that Fortune was a bit later on. But Jemba and players like that. Why weren't Man United going out there after we won the treble? Man United should have went out there and looked at Zidane, Rivaldo, them sort of players. That's what Man United should have done. Man United, like Liverpool have done this season, Man United should have made a statement when the season started. Okay, we lost Schmeichel. All right, we lost Schmeichel. Van der Haar was it was okay to cover in that position for the time being, and he did all right. But, when you're thinking about what would have been a great statement for Man United to do, and Roy Keane was right. Man United should have went out there and purchased Zidane, or, a Neka Davids, or, a Clarence Seedorf, or, someone like that who would have elevated Man United even more. And you think, look, Man United are already the treble winners and they've gone out and purchased Zidane, and things like that. But wasn't to be. This is what we say. We never quite we never quite moved on in regards to that, did we? We should try Mazza. Should at least try Mazza as a number 6. We can't Helge at the moment. We can't. We got well-known. Stop listening to Stephen Alson, mate. That's what I would say. We can't just try him at number 6 in the Premier League, mate. It won't flipping work, bruv. You know what I mean? You're going to get schooled. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous to think that, let's try him at number 6. It's going to be okay. Mate, why hasn't he played number 6 for Morocco and things like that? He played there and he did. I watched him play there once and it was a nightmare, to be honest with you. But you can't just play a player there and that's it. And they'll say, oh, you know what? He's played there. He could play there. He's good enough to play there. This is people who don't have ball knowledge. Sorry, bruv. They don't. When you say that, let's play him there. That's shoehorning again. And that's where we're going wrong. It's a bit like people say, well, if Bruno Fernandes can't play there well, how's Mazraoui going to do that? You're going to have to look at things the whole game and watch how midfielders work. Because I used to play a number 6 as well. You can't just say playing there. Maybe he's got some attributes that can play there, but against an FA Cup team or in the FA Cup, and we can trial it there. Right now, we can't do that. We can't just trial Mazraoui as a number 6 against Chelsea or against Brighton or Brentford. They'll school us. And we need to understand that. Not against City. That's a way too much of a risk. I mean, it's something that we should be thinking about. Helge, we've got midfielders there. We got Ugarte. We got Casemiro. We got Mainu. So we don't need to think about that right now. We got Bosic on a free too because Edwards was a cheapskate. Yeah, I mean, we didn't improve our team, And guys, in regards to Mazraoui, I made a whole show about it the other day. I don't know if these people they need to listen to the show. Then you know what I mean. I made a whole show about Mazraoui playing at number 6 and the ins and outs and the flaws. So make sure you check that out. Didn't want to spend on another top keeper yet. And we spent quite a bit on Barthez, but I always felt that was the wrong signing. I felt Man United needed to get Van der Sar early, didn't they? They needed to get Van der Sar was playing back then. They needed to get him early. Ineos would have sold Diego Dalot to Porto and bought JJ Spence from Tottenham Hotspur to play. Yeah, absolutely. Allowed to have different. You're allowed to have different opinions, mate, but it doesn't mean it's right, Helge. In this situation, it is wrong to put Mazraoui as a number 6 right now. It's wrong. You are wrong, and I'll say that, Helge. I'm not agreeing with everything you say, bruv. You know what I mean? You're wrong, mate. I've seen it happen in the 90s with John O'Shea and stuff like that. Yeah, they got the attributes. I've seen it, but nah. You know what I mean? Sorry, brother. We can't agree with that. I'm right. Sorry, Helge. You're wrong. Sorry, bruv. That's just the way it is. I've watched Man United, I study Man United, I watch football, I coach football, Helge. And I know what that can do to the team. Yeah, he might have some little attributes here and there. Yeah, if you're playing in the Championship. Yeah. I want to see more variety from United. Don't just keep quiet on the box. Absolutely shoot from outside the box as well. Make defenders worry. That's what we are doing. Agreed. And we need to be ruthless as well. We need to make sure we are ruthless. We need to make sure that we put that ball in the back of the net when we get an opportunity, because we're dominating game, XG and all that, we're the best. But in regards to conversion rate, we're one of the worst. We're the worst, probably. You know what I mean? So we need to start putting that ball in the back of the net. And if we just improve our XG, if we improve our finishing in regards to goals by 50%, we're on a winner. We're on a winner. Absolutely. Guys, at the end of the day. And that's what it is. By the way, Helge, Philip Lahm played in the youth team in midfield. He played in the youth team upwards, by the way. He started as a midfielder, by the way, Helge, just to say. Okay, so that's what it is, guys. Absolutely. So that's what it is, guys. Look, you know what? I'm not here to argue with people and debate people, because I understand. That's why I got this platform and you great people on this platform, because I watch football, I study football. Don't just go off vibes and stuff like that. Samuel, O'Shea played in goal after robbing Key Eder Sanasan knows. Yes, he did. And he kept a clean sheet, Samuel. He did. I remember that. That was funny. That was very funny. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That's how confident Man United were back then. That's how confident Man United were back then. At the end of the day, look, when you look at football and you look at attributes, right? You look at attributes. Let's look at attributes, right? Look at Dennis Irwin. Dennis Irwin can play in midfield. But is he going to be a good midfielder? Probably not. You know what I mean? He'd probably be not, this is the thing, There's fine lines in football. What people don't understand, there's fine lines in football. There's a thin thread of winning and losing, especially these days. It's not like the 90s. It's not like the early turn of the century. There's a thin thread in football that it just takes one lapse of concentration and you're 1-0 down. And that's what happens in football now, right? So when you have a player that has never played a position, right, probably 5 times in his life, and then you bring him in and you play him in against even Brentford, even Brighton, they're going to beat you. You think that you put Mazraoui in midfield against Baleba. Who's going to win that battle then? You know what I mean? Absolutely. Grayo, 75, only 30. Come on, guys. 50 likes is the bare minimum, guys. We need to get to that 50 likes mark. Absolutely. Someone's predicted 3-0 win tomorrow. Who for, Chindosi? Hopefully Man United. I wouldn't say 3-0. Unless there is a red card or something like that. That could possibly happen, but I don't think Man United go with it. I think Man United win 2-1. I'll be happy with that, mate. I'll be happy for us to stink out the place and win 1-0. I'll be happy. Anything, as long as we get a win. Look, last season when we beat Man City at the Etihad, we weren't the better team. We scammed it. You know what I mean? And I don't care. Guys. But he's not a midfielder, and both of those players are better than him in midfield, Helge. You can't just say that, guys, and you can't just say that, play him in midfield and that's it, guys. He's worth having. I've seen him play midfield, Helge, and he was poor. Dennis Irwin, he played for Morocco in midfield, Helge. You've got to watch football, Helge. Irvin called in today's game at fullback and be a free kick specialist. Dennis Irwin is the best left back in my lifetime, Samuel. He's a generational left back. He's the best left back in Man United's history. The best left back I've ever seen was Roberto Carlos, obviously. Absolutely. Don't cry, Helge. Stop crying, brother. Look, I read out your comments. I don't have to agree with you every single time, Helge. You know, don't cry about it. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about you're not watching because you said, I just want to see him once. You haven't seen him once, then, because he played for Morocco in midfield. Isn't it? You know, so, you know, you haven't seen it. Absolutely. Don't cry about it. Do you remember Keane played centre-back against Juventus in 2003? He did quite well. Yes, I did. But Keane, yeah, but have you seen him do it a couple of times? We conceded a lot of goals for Keane in defence. He also scored an own goal. Absolutely. Absolutely. We played one well. But my favourite Keane was 93 to 97 when he was a box-to-box player. Keane started off as a defender. Did you know that? And then he went into the striker. He started off as an attacking midfielder. And then Alex Ferguson slowly moved into the number 8, number 6 position. Douglas Luiz would have been a good addition. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Philip, glad you mentioned Dennis Ryan, most underrated player United in my lifetime. He played crossing. Mate, he could do everything. Defend, cross, head, free kicks, penalties. Still one of the best penalty takers I've ever seen. Absolutely. Still one of the best penalty takers I've ever seen. Big up, Philip. Morning, Neil Gunnar. I hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Of course, absolutely. Guys. Toxie, we have a habit of playing strong in the first 20 minutes and then start losing. Because I agree, Toxie. That's something that we need to fix. And not only that, we start slow sometimes, and then we slowly get into the game. Where, you know, when they score, then we get into the game. You know, it's like that. You know, and that's something that we need to eradicate from our game completely. Absolutely. You know, at the end of the day. Yeah. Helge, listen, Helge, I'm not belittling you. I disagree with you. It's not belittling you, mate. Helge, stop being a snowflake, bruv. Please. I'm not belittling you. You're acting like a snowflake. Stop it, mate. Come on, mate. You know Stretford Post, mate. You don't be like that, bruv. I don't want to have to go down that road with you. In 1994, he filled in at right back when Paul Parker was injured. Eventually, Gary Neville took over. Roy Keane, yeah. Roy Keane is one of those players who play up front. He's one of those players. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like when you're discounting, you know, midfielders and stuff who played there all their life and saying, oh, I'll rather play him there, you know, and then when they get skimmed, it's going to be like, oh, we should have played him there, you know. There's a reason that Ruben Amorim is the manager and Ruben Amorim won't do it. And there was a reason that Licha Martinez hasn't played in midfield. Like lots of people have said it, you know, absolutely. Gary Neville was one of the best right backs of all time. I had this debate with someone yesterday. Someone said that he's not in the top right backs of all time. He was, in my opinion. Absolutely. He was, in my opinion, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I would say that, you know. Chindose, in January, I would prefer a left foot midfielder. Could be. You never know, but I don't think we're going to do any work in January, mate. I don't think we're going to do any work in January. I don't think Man United are going to sign any players in January. If we do sign a player, I would say that it will be a loan or a young player that will come through and stuff like that. Samuel, David Bellingham and Eric Jemba, Claybus and Minuto were terrible footballers. I mean, I don't know who scouted them. I don't know who scouted them. Probably hell. They weren't good enough for Man United. That's all I would say. They were championship players at best. And I remember during 2005, 2004, Man United had Jemba. They had obviously Bellingham and things like that. But Man United were moving, innit? That's what happened with Man United. We were moving, we were evolving. You know, we were evolving and slowly, but 2004, 2005, 2006, Man United were, you know, transitioning from what we were, you know what I mean? Which, you know, we were 3 in the league, 3rd in the league, 4th in the league, but we started to get there with young players. Obviously, Rooney, Ronaldo, we were building a team. Do you know what I mean? I like Paul Parker, me too. Good tackler, but too short, in my opinion. And Alex Ferguson, I think there was one game I saw Revert 7 many years ago. It was against Leeds United. And I think Yacoub, was it? There was the player who played for Leeds United. Anyway, Brian Deane played for Leeds United at the time. And he got absolutely skimmed. And the ball was bouncing over his head and or whatnot. And I think Alex Ferguson made the decision, you know, to get rid eventually. He was quick and a good tackler. Absolutely, he was. What I would say, you know what, at the end of the day, he was good. He was a proper right wing back as well. Could do that. Played in the 1990 World Cup, as we know. Guys, you know, I do my research. You know, I don't just spit crap. I don't know. You know, so he played 99, and I watched the World Cup 99. It was the first real World Cup that I can remember. I vaguely remember the 1986 World Cup, but 1990 is the one where I really started obviously 2 years supporting Man United back then. And yeah, it was good. But I remember the goal, I think it was against Germany, wasn't it, in the semi-final, where it didn't deflect off him, didn't it come off him, and it went into the back. Absolutely. Played as a centre-back for QPR. What happened to QPR? Trevor Sinclair, Ray Wilkins. What happened to them? What happened to that team? Les Ferdinand, great team, QPR, back in the day, Maguire to start, mate. Absolutely not. De Ligt all the way. Absolutely. My mate lived in South Africa Road. Big up. Yeah. I lived in Windsor Road, which wasn't too far from that. It wasn't too far from that, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. Guys, look. What I don't do, guys. What I don't do in regards to football, right? Which is why I speak to journalists, I speak to ex-pros about football often. Not on here, but I do another outside of football, right? I come to a conclusion, and I speak to people in confidentially, and people who played the game, and I don't just come on here and have a vibe because I've seen something on the internet. I actually know, what is and what isn't. Balance is very important. And I tell you about balance. In football, balance is very important. Like, for example, Zinedine Zidane, Paul Scholes are very balanced as footballers, right? They're very balanced, and they had the blinkers on. They could see 3 passes ahead. Now, that is what midfield is. A creative brain. Not only defensive, but a creative brain, and a brain where you can break the lines and you can get forward, at the end of the day. But what I would say is this. There's some players who don't have the balance to do it. They're a little bit like this, and they can fall. You know what I mean? Chindoso, I need someone to handle Haaland. We'll be all right with him. We've got him. I mean, obviously, De Ligt will have him in his pocket. Don't worry. My manner of the hill and the bush. My manner, the hill and the bush. What's the hill and the bush? Shepherd's Bush. Grayo, 89, only 37 likes, guys. 50 likes. It has to be 50 likes, guys. Otherwise, I'm not doing Chatterbox later on, you guys. You have to make sure you get this to 50 likes, guys. Make sure you get it to 50 likes. We need to get to 50 likes every single show, guys. Absolutely. Sal, was Quinter Fortune good? Average. Put in a shift. Met him once in London, Houston. What I would say is that I mean, we're coming from Paul Scholes and Roy Keane, and then we have this is exactly adding to my point. These players they were midfielders, but they just weren't good enough. Absolutely. Tucker, good morning. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Look on the bright side. 3 points tomorrow will do our confidence the world of good. Absolutely. It will do our confidence the world of good, my friends. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Brilliant. We will get the win and we will beat Chelsea. Don't worry about Haaland. Don't worry about anyone. Let's concentrate on getting the win, guys. Absolutely. Don't worry about Haaland. Keep him off the ball. He will ghost it. Absolutely. I heard about it. He touches the ball about 5 times a game. So you got to keep him from touching the ball. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean, guys. You got to keep him from touching the ball, guys. When football is about opinions, football's about opinions, but you know what? You need to listen to opinions as well. You need to listen to opinions and not just say like, no, but I want that. No, you're not wrong. I'm not wrong. No. Opinion is about opinion. And I'll tell you why he can't play there. And you're meant to say, yeah, that's true. But no, that. But people don't want to do that. They can't debate. This is what the problem is. They don't know how to debate and they don't know how to come to a resolution. But I've seen things in football that they haven't. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. And I don't speak nonsense. I don't like speaking nonsense, especially not about Man United. Philip, when United were Newton Heath, they used toilets in a local pub as changing rooms. Yeah, it was run by ancestors' grandparents. United is my DNA. Big up, Sal. Big up, Philip. Wow, you learn something new every day. Big up, Philip. And thank you for your service. That's what I would say. Thank you for your service, my guy. Toxie, we need to feed Sesko up front like City and Hyde. I think Mbeumo is going to do that, Toxie. Absolutely. Lee Davies, Shepherd's Hill and Notting Bush. You mean Notting Hill and Shepherd's Bush, mate? You're not going to confuse me, brother. I used to study in Shepherd's Bush. Notting Hill Carnival, all that. Famous film filmed in Notting Hill. Name it. Notting Hill. Absolutely. Samuel, back in the day, Manchester United were linked with Gabriel Batistuta, Pele, Rivaldo. Pele? I don't know if Man United were linked to Pele, but Man United were linked to Rivaldo, but definitely Gabriel Batistuta, Patrick Kluivert, and all those people. Mark Overmars, players like that. Absolutely. Come on, guys, with the lights, guys. We need to get it up to 50 lights, guys. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do, guys. Get it up to 50 lights. That's what it's all about. Let's get it to 50 lights, guys. That's what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get it to 50. That's the minimum, guys, on Breaking Dawn, by the way. The minimum is 50 likes, guys. That's what it is. Oh, 10:50 in the morning, where I am. Guys, you need to get to 50 likes. William, come on. Yeah, thank you so much. Big up, William. So I didn't want to read that again. Big up. Sorry. Yeah, so look, you know what? Sesko is match fit. Yeah, he's ready. I will play him myself. As I gave my predicted lineup yesterday in my match preview, guys. Go and check it out, guys. Go and check it out. Show some love on the match preview, guys. Very, very important, guys. Absolutely. That you get the match preview in there, of course. Sesko match fit. Absolutely. Yeah, he is. He's match fit. And Man United should be all right tomorrow. Look, I know we're missing a couple of players. Mason Mount, obviously, Cunha. But luckily enough, we've got cover in those positions. We got cover in those positions, in particular in that area of the pitch. And there's so many different ways in which we can play tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to it, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. City 0, United 1. In Buemo will get the goal. Lee Davies. Big up Lee Davies. I think Man United will win tomorrow. I'm saying 2-1 tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying 2-1 tomorrow. You predict 4-2, Revert 7. Who 2? Man United, innit? Man United, 4-2. I will take that all day long, mate. Look, yeah, I watched Man City against Tottenham. I felt it was a easy win for Tottenham. And I don't see why Man United can't go there and win well. I don't see why Man United can't do that. I actually think that Man United will win well. You know what I mean? 40 likes, guys. Don't forget to smash the likes. 50 likes is the bare minimum. Come on, guys. Smash the likes, subscribe. Thank you, Ephraim. Big up Revert 7. Lots of goals, possibly. I mean, maybe, yeah. As long as most of the goals are in Man United's, on Man United's side. That's what I would say. Most of the goals are for Man United. Game on. Come on, Man United is red. Absolutely. Philip. Thank you so much, my friend. Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash a like. All that sweet stuff, of course, guys. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. Look, guys, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's about. You learn something every day, don't you, at the end of the day with people. And, one thing I have never stopped believing in is Manchester United, and I believe Man United will win tomorrow. I've got this feeling. I've got this overwhelming feeling. Maybe it will change after half an hour. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But I've got this overwhelming feeling that Man United are going to do something tomorrow. I really feel that way, in my opinion. Guys, I really feel that way. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that way. Guys, look, what we have to do, guys, is basically we have to believe, we have to be enthusiastic, we have to be not overly zealous, but we have to be cautiously optimistic when we come into these games, because anything can happen in football. As I've always said, you know that, I know that, we've watched football all for years, haven't we? So, one thing we have to do is be confident and always believe in your team. You know what I mean? We are bigger. The bigger the channel becomes, the better for everyone. Thank you so much, William. Absolutely. And I will not forget the originals. Absolutely. I will not forget everyone who's been here from the start, guys. Whether we agree or disagree, it's always going to be this way for Stretford Post. I won't change. You know what I mean? Manchester is red. Jadosi. Absolutely. It is all day long, every single day, of course. Ephraim, Sal, who are your top 3 greatest managers of all time? My top 3 greatest managers of all time. Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Matt Busby, and Carlo Ancelotti. That's it, I think. Is that about right? Yeah, it's about right for me, yeah. Revert 7. I'm always optimistic post the match day. You have to be Revert 7. You know what? All these Man City fans are giving it all this, guys. We've seen them on social media. They're giving it all this. We need to shut them up. That's what we need to do tomorrow. And I believe we will. Let them cry tomorrow. We need to make sure they're crying tomorrow. That's what we need to do. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. And absolutely. Yeah, I'll go with them 3. I believe Man United are going to win 2-1 tomorrow, guys. That's my prediction. Guys, remember, I am doing the watch-along tomorrow. Keep your notifications on because I am doing the watch-along tomorrow. Please join me for the watch-along. It's a great crack. We have a good laugh. It's stressful sometimes, absolutely. But you know what? Keep it on. Keep the watch-along on. And you know what? It's a good chat, guys. Absolutely. Tucker, big performance by Casemiro. We'll see you over the line tomorrow. 1-2 win. Come on. I agree, Tucker. Come on. 2-1 win for me as well, mate. Absolutely for Man United. I agree with that. Absolutely. Big up, Daryl. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, All Sports. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Derek. I don't know what you mean by that, but big up. All Sports. Big up yourself. Hope everything is blessed with you. Look, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Man United. I'm going for Embremo and Embremo brace. Embremo brace. That's what I'm going for. An Embremo brace. It's hard to say. Embremo brace. Yeah, I'm going for that tomorrow. I think that Man United will do the business tomorrow. Peace and love, William, my friend. Peace and love, everyone who's joined me today, guys. Absolute love, guys. Absolutely. I will be back, of course. Big up, Derek. What's up, Derek? What's going on? Samuel, Premier League should strip Chelsea and Manchester City of their trophies, which they bought. We all know they should be stripped of their titles. We all know that. They won't do it, though. You know, they won't do it. They won't strip them of their titles. Of course they won't, because obviously it's money, isn't it? And this is all they care about, is money at the end of the day. And to brush 115 charges under the carpet, it just goes to show you where the mentality is. This is why I'm looking at it right now. And I think, why are Man United playing by the rules? Why should we play by the rules? What's the point of playing by the rules? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know? Sesko needs to score 1. Yeah, well, you know what? He needs to start first, doesn't he, in the Premier League? He hasn't started in the Premier League yet, has he? Sal, do you do Champions League watch along? I'm doing a watch along next week for Chelsea Bayern Munich. I'm gonna try and see which games I'm gonna do. I'm doing Chelsea Bayern Munich next week, and let's see what other games. But keep your notifications on and check it out. Keep an update. Now is the best time to play City. Sloppy defense and losing streak. Come on, United. Absolutely, Philip. Love it, my friend. Love it. Sesko and Bremer will be United's top scorer this season. I got a feeling, Tucker, as well, mate. I got a feeling as well, like you, of course. Derek, you and family have a good day. You too, Derek. You and your family too, my friend. Take it easy, my friend. William, nothing will happen to City or Chelsea. Cash, mate. Nothing's going to happen, William. Nothing. I have no faith in PGMO at all. I have no faith in them at all. I have no faith in them to punish Man City or to punish Chelsea. Absolutely none. Guys, you know, and it's just a shame, but because I know that if it was Man United or if it was Leicester or it was Southampton or Everton, they would have deducted the points. They would have deducted them, relegated them. They would have thrown out all the book. They would have thrown the book at them. That's what they would have done. Absolutely. Money talks, facts. Yeah. Except when it's Man United, they just want to relegate us anyway. I came to the conclusion a month ago that the media don't want Man United to exist. It's funny, isn't it? I came to this conclusion, right? They don't want Man United to exist. They want one club in Manchester. One club in Manchester. I felt this, you know? From the way I watched them, I was watching them, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't like us, and I know that, but, you know, it's crazy, isn't it? Football is corrupt, absolutely, Lee. Agree with that. William, it was United, we will be in prison. It would have already been done a long time ago, you know? Absolutely. Why is it always important for certain players to start? It depends who those certain players are, mate. It was always important for Roy Keane and Paul Scholes to start because they were experienced and good players. It depends who it is. Absolutely. Held. Bruno starts at number 10. Who do you want as a pivot against City? I think I'm leaning towards Mainu Unagate. That's exactly what I want, Held. Exactly what I want. A balanced midfield, brother. A balanced midfield. That's what I want. Is it too much to ask for a balanced midfield? For goodness sake, you know what I mean? I don't want Tina Turner in the midfield, bruv. You know what I mean? We need a proper midfield, you know what I mean? You can sing Simply the Best all you want, but you know what? You're not going to be the best. I mean, God blow me, you know what I mean? I don't know where I get the analogies from, but that's what it is. Helge, no hard feelings, brother. It's all love. Anyway, we're talking about football. It's football, and I've got nothing but love for Helge. Good, William. Good characters. Team need it, absolutely. But Helge usually talks a lot of gospel. Sometimes it's a strategy of the coach to start or as a sub. Sometimes it's a strategy of the coach to start or to sub. Yeah, it could be. Sometimes you shock a player. I think our match to start as a sub, but you know what I mean? That's crazy for some people. Manager, coach, who wish. Coach, who wish. Absolutely, Derek. Big up, Derek. What is this? Watching from Lagos now. Big up Lagos. Big up Abuja. Big up Nigeria. All got friends over there. Absolutely. Big up your family over there. Absolutely. Big up yourselves. Absolutely, guys. Did you know Nwankwo Kanu, you know Kanu, who used to play for Arsenal and Inter Milan? Remember Kanu? Did you know his cousin went to my wedding? Do you know that? There you go. There's a little bit of a stat for you guys. There's a stat. Guys, thank you so much. You're all legends. I really appreciate you. Guys, look, you know what? There's 75. There was 100 nearly in the house. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. So important, guys. And also, don't forget to put your notifications on, guys. Absolutely. And I will be back later on for Chatterbox anyway, guys. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Guys, have a great day, great night, great evening. I hope you're well. Philip, I know Ugarte isn't great, but I think it's because he hasn't had a regular partner. I agree with that, Philip, 100%. It doesn't matter what midfielder you play if you got Bruno Fernandes next to you. You know what I mean? That's the problem. So big up Aman and big up William, of course. And big up everyone who's joined the stream today. I really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate it. Great chat, great debate. Thank you so much, guys. I will be back later on, of course, guys. And don't forget to smash a like on the way out, please, guys. Really appreciate it all. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Much love to you all. Take it easy. Peace.